A year and a half ago, I started the development of a completely custom product that I wanted to bring to market. In its first 90 days, it did $24,250 of revenue. But first, let's go back to the beginning. For my entire professional career, I have been a welder up until recently. I've worked in fab shops and huge construction projects. And near the latter half of that, I started selling welding accessories on my own website and on Amazon. And it was during that time that one of my customers reached out to me on Instagram and told me about a product idea. Shout out to Michael. He told me about a product back in the day that was a silver welding lens that looked red when you welded through it. Now that got the gears turning in my head. I sell automatic welding lenses, a lot of them. What if I got some silver ones that were custom made to have that red welding view that still functioned the exact same as a normal welding lens? So that's what I did. Now, Michael and I had that conversation on September 18th, 2023, and I immediately went over to my supplier and tried to work out how we could make it happen. Then after 3 months of back and forth and a lot of development, on December 20th, 2023, the first samples came in. And everything seemed to be completely perfect. They had the red view, and they had that silver front, and they just looked clean. But there was one big problem. When I came back to them wanting to make a full order, they couldn't because they had huge issues with consistency. Because of that red tint, they could not find a way to get production to be consistent, and we had to go back to the drawing board on how to make these silver lenses work. Now, after about 2 months, they came back and we figured it out. We could not keep that red tint, but if we turned it blue, we found a way to make it consistent. But there was another bigger issue at hand. Because this was a custom project, they changed their minimum order quantity to 1,000 units. Now, at the time, that was about $13,000, which I didn't have. And because of that, the project had to be shelved. But only temporarily. After about 6 months, I had already built up enough cash to quit my job and do Amazon full time. So I decided then was the perfect time to go ahead and try out this product. And on August 20th, 2024, I put in my purchase order for $13,237. Now with that, I bought the initial production run of the silver lenses along with a couple hundred other lenses to go along with it. Once again, there were some issues with their production line, so they didn't actually finish this order until November 16th. And it didn't arrive at Amazon until December 18th, a full 4 months after ordering. But yeah, after 15 months, this product was finally ready to hit the Amazon shelves and get some sales. Let's look at some results. Now, let's look at some results. Now, real quick before we get into it, the total startup cost, because I didn't say it before, was $13,337.63. 100 of which was samples and the rest of which was the purchase order. But let's get into month one. Now, first up is October. Now, you may be doing the math and thinking, wait, didn't you say it didn't arrive until like December 18th? What is this? Yep, these are all pre-sales. We did $4,813.96 of revenue, $0 in ads, $1,119.72 of Amazon fees, $70.18 of returns, $2,677.46 of profit, which is a 55.62% margin. Next up, November. In November, we did $6,833.91 of revenue, $1,093 of that was cost of goods, $805 spent on ads, $1,333.93 spent on Amazon fees, $39.59 spent on returns, and $3,560.06 of profit, which puts us at a 52.12% margin. And then December, the month where everything actually freaking arrived, we did $12,603.10 of revenue, $2,040 was spent on cost of goods, $2,937.50 spent on ads, $2,676.05 spent on Amazon fees, $310.27 of returns, and $4,639.28 of profit, putting us at a 36.81% profit margin. Which, if you were really quick with the math, will put us at $24,250.97 of total revenue, $4,079.50 spent on COGS, $3,742.84 of ads, $5,094.14 of Amazon fees, $420 of returns, $10,878.80 of profit, 44.86% margin. Now, overall, I would say that that was a pretty stinking good launch, especially considering this is all numbers based off of, 2 months of actually being in stock. Most of it was pre-orders. But yeah, let's get into my final thoughts on this product. But yeah, I'd say overall, this was a pretty successful product. I'll definitely say that I put a lot more work into this product than I might normally. Like, especially based off the numbers, I would say this is a pretty outlier launch for me personally. Some of you guys out there have some pretty crazy revenue launches. I've seen them. Overall, I can probably attribute that to 3 main things. One, I put in the work to actually coming up with like a unique product that was pretty darn good, I'd say. Like this is a product that I used for like the latter half of while I was still a welder, and I used it almost every day. Secondly, I already was in this market. Like this is just another variation of what I was already selling. So I already knew what to expect. I knew the keywords, I knew the margin, I knew what to target. So that really shortcuts a lot of this. And thirdly, I don't know what I was gonna say for thirdly. It's really just those 2 main things. Normally I prefer not to put anywhere near this much work into a product and just have more, but this was more of a pet project. Like this was a fun thing that I was wanting to do for a while, and it just took a long time for it to actually come into effect. There was a lot of waiting on, you know, supplier mess ups, and then a lot of me waiting just because I couldn't afford to run this product. Like that was a big launch for me back then. Like my more recent launches, as you'll see in future videos, they're a lot more expensive. I spent a lot more money and spent a good amount of time on those. Yeah, overall pretty darn solid. For future, I expect this product to be doing $15,000 to $20,000 a month. Maybe growing up past there, it might become a flagship. We'll see. I might keep you updated, probably not. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I probably won't answer them in the way that you want me to, but yeah, that's all. Bye.